Hello and welcome to the Happy Homemaker. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make these delicious Boston cream donut holes. So let's get started. Let's start off by preheating our oven to 350 degrees and lightly greasing our muffin tins. There's 24 muffin tins, mini muffins in total, and I'm using vegetable oil to grease that and then just set that aside. If you get any oil on top, just wipe that off with a paper towel. In a medium bowl, we're going to add 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking batter, and half a teaspoon of salt, and just whisk that all together and then set it aside. In another medium bowl, we're going to add in 3/4 cups of granulated sugar and 1/3 cup of unsalted butter at room temperature and mix that together with a fork. Now add in 1 large egg at room temperature and mix that in together. Now add in 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract and mix that in together. And just add a little splash of milk to continue mixing that. We're going to be using in total 3/4 cups of whole milk. So just add part of the dry ingredients and sift that on top. Mix that in. Add some of the 3/4 cups of milk and mix that in together, and then do that again. Add in some dry ingredients, sift it on top, and then add in a little bit more milk until the milk and the dry ingredients are all added in. And do not overmix, so stop mixing as soon as you stop seeing the dry ingredients, or else you can end up having a dense muffin. And now we're going to add our batter to our muffin tins, and we're going to be using 1 tablespoon of batter per muffin. And if you find that some of them have less than the other, just use some of the remaining batter to top it off. And we're going to bake these in the oven at 350 degrees for 15 minutes and then add them to the cooling rack to completely cool. And now we're going to start making our pastry cream. Start off by separating the egg whites from the yolks. We're going to be using 6 egg yolks. I prefer separating my egg yolk just by cracking it in my own hand and letting the egg whites fall into the one bowl and then putting the yolk in the other. It's a little bit messy, but I find it works a lot easier and quicker. And just set that aside. And in a medium pot, we're going to add in 2 cups of whole milk and 1/4 cup of whipping cream and whisk that together. And take that to the stove on medium-low heat and bring it to a steam about 130 degrees. Then remove it from the heat. Then stir in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now we're going to add in our 6 egg yolks and half a cup of granulated sugar and just mix that together until it reaches a pale yellow. And now add in 3.5 tablespoons of cornstarch and mix that in together. And now we're slowly going to add in our milk mixture into the egg mixture. And we don't want to make scrambled eggs, so we're going to be doing this very slowly while whisking the whole time. If you add it too quickly, it will literally cook our egg. And when it's all added in, just return that to the pot and add it to the stove on medium-low heat and whisk that for about 10 minutes until it thickens. Just make sure to whisk constantly so it doesn't stick to the bottom or burn. And once it's thickened, remove it from the heat right away. And now we're just going to put that through a strainer into a bowl so we can collect any lumps from the cornstarch. And just whisk that through. And now we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter and whisk that in together until it's smooth. And after about 10 minutes sitting at room temperature, I'm going to add some saran wrap on top and make sure to press it onto the pastry cream until it's completely covered, and we're going to put that in the fridge to set. And in the meantime, we're going to cut holes in our Boston cream donuts. So I'm just using my knife to cut a circle and take off the lid. And I'm just scraping some of the muffin out from the center. So however much cream you want, that's how big of a hole you should put. So if you like a lot of cream, then make a bigger hole. And if you don't like as much, then make a smaller hole and add the tops back on. And now we're gonna make our chocolate ganache. We're gonna add 1 cup of chocolate chips and set that aside. Half a cup of heavy whipping cream into a small pot. And we're gonna take that to the stove on medium heat. And once the edges start to bubble and it kind of starts to foam, we're gonna remove that from the heat right away. And now we're just gonna pour the hot cream mixture onto the chocolate chips and let that sit there for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we're gonna whisk that together until it gets a rich chocolate brown and whisk it until it's smooth. And now for the last part of our pastry cream, we're just gonna add 1/3 of a cup of heavy cream and mix that together until it forms a soft peak. Now remove the pastry cream from the fridge after it's been in there for about 3 hours, and we're just gonna mix in the whipping cream. And now that that's mixed in together, we're gonna start making our Boston cream donut holes. Start off by removing the top of the donut hole and add in some pastry cream. I put about half a teaspoon for each donut hole and then just put the top back on. And then we're gonna pour on the chocolate ganache on top. I just add some of the ganache to the center and smooth it out a bit. And then I just kind of let the ganache settle where it wants to. And once these are all done, they have to be stored in the fridge as they have pastry cream in the center of them. So I just place them in a Tupperware container that is lined with some paper towels so it absorbs some of the moisture, and I just pop them in the fridge. I'm just going to show you how to store the rest of the chocolate ganache. Add some saran wrap on top of the chocolate ganache and press it into the ganache, and then leave it at room temperature for up to 2 days. Or you can whip up another batch of muffins and use it right away. And now we're going to do the same thing to the pastry cream. Just press the saran wrap on top of the pastry cream and then add that into the fridge for up to 5 days. And the same thing, you can make some extra donut holes if you want, or you can just eat it as it is, like a custard. And there we have our Boston cream donut holes. I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and I especially hope that you enjoy this recipe. If you want to see more recipes like this, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel as I upload new recipes frequently. Thanks for watching. Bye!